Joining us today in studio is Second Lieutenant Chris Cotone. In addition to his normal police duties, Chris represents the police department as a member of our Honor Guard. Chris, welcome to On the Beat.
Thank you, Sean. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. What role does the Honor Guard play?
We represent the chief of the police and the men and women of the Fairfax County Police Department, all the ceremonial functions for the agency. One of the main jobs we do is opening ceremonies for different events. Our primary mission, though, however, is to provide line of duty funeral for an officer killed in a line of duty, particularly for within our own agency, but we also provide support and provide team members to area departments that lose an officer to pay our respects. A secondary mission for our team is to pay our respects to retirees that pass away. Members of the police department that have spent their career here, we like to honor their service within the department and provide representatives from the active duty police. Team members will go out and provide funeral services, whether that be flag folding, we may play taps on the bugle or provide a colors team, and again to thank those families and those retirees for their service here.
Who participates as members of the Honor Guard, and how did you get involved?
We have representation throughout the entire police department. We got members that are part of the team. We have about 40 team members that are from every district station, from CIB and also Special Operations Division. We actually even recently had a traffic enforcement officer join us on the team. So they are rank and file police officers that fill every role in the police department that have an interest in the Honor Guard, and they decided to participate in the ceremonial functions that we do. The way that I got started is actually in high school. I was an ROTC and was part of the drill team. Prior to that, I was an explorer for the Army National Guard. So I think I had an interest in military type activities, and then in the ROTC, being part of the drill team, I got involved in that pomp and ceremony and the ceremonial activities they do. So I sort of had a natural inclination to that or interest in it. Then early in my career back in '93, the Honor Guard at that time was looking to add team members. So I decided to apply, put a memo in, and went through a competitive process and got selected back then.
And what is the protocol, particular honors you may bestow?
We have an entire SOP that we've written to actually document all of our procedures that we will perform at an opening ceremony or at a funeral service. One of our main functions as a unit, actually in our mission statement, is to provide honors to a fallen officer during a line of duty type situation. And we would actually, if it's an agency in our region, you know, being around the D.C. region or within the state of Virginia, we always try to send at least a colors team to represent the police department, to represent our chief of police as representatives of our agency to our fellow officers in law enforcement, to kind of show our respects for that officer's service. Secondary mission we have is to support our retirees, members of the police department that have spent their career here and retired. We try to send a delegation of officers to help with their funeral services. Locally, we always try to send a full bearer team if that's requested by the family. If the retiree lives out of state, we try to send at least 2 team members to that out-of-state funeral to pay our respects and maybe present a flag or some other piece that we can provide to that memorial service.
Okay. On that note, how important is it to the grieving family and the loved ones what we do and what you do?
You know, we get tremendous positive feedback from the families of how much they appreciate us being there. And I think it's important for us as an agency to recognize officers that are fallen, and the Honor Guard, in my view, provides sort of the structural framework for the ceremonial portion of that funeral service. So we are the ones that are going to be steadfast and kind of be stoic, but take care of all the ceremonial functions for that service to allow department members and family to have time to grieve and remember that fallen person. Same thing with a retiree. If we have a retiree pass away, we like to remember that retiree service here and thank them for their efforts while they were a member of the police department in making us the successful agency we are today. So we get tremendous support from the families and the retirees' families. They actually are very grateful, sending sentiments and letters and things like that. So, it's good for us as a team to be able to do that. I think innately the members of the Honor Guard, that are team members, they have a desire to actually remember those officers themselves, and they choose to be members of the Honor Guard to provide that framework.
I understand Fairfax Honor Guard presents workshops. Can you tell us what the purpose of those workshops are?
We do. This is something that we started, I think this is our 6th year we've done it in 2012, and annually all the previous years. A training seminar that we decided to put together, sort of a fun thing for us to do, but also we were trying to raise the bar for the ceremonial functions that other police departments, honor guards, maybe didn't have the background or the experience or the time to train like we're fortunate to have. We wanted to actually show them some techniques and things that have worked for us that were sort of best practices and training techniques and procedures and movements that we found have been very effective for us, and pass that knowledge along. So for every year, we had our last one this June. We've had students from all over the country, police departments from all over the country, and actually law enforcement officers from Canada have participated. So this past year we had 54 students from other departments. We had for this year we had members from other agencies from South Carolina, Arkansas, a bunch from the Virginia area, New York, New Jersey. In our Honor Guard office, we actually have a whole wall of patches that goes around the room, and I think we've trained about 45 or 50 different agencies. And the departments that come to the seminar, they really, really enjoy it because it's all very much hands-on. They get to use a lot of equipment and see techniques and participate in Honor Guard movements that they may be a brand new team, they're trying to formulate and build up a team, or they may have a team that's been existing but they may have been struggling. Because it's hard to find maybe guidance on how to do law enforcement specific Honor Guard functions. Of course the military is an asset that you can approach and have them train you some things, but some of the things that are specific to police line of duty funerals, the military couldn't show you. So we try to bridge that gap.
Other than the line of duty death, how do you participate in the community?
We do a lot of events in the community, opening ceremonies for different types of community functions. We've done opening ceremonies for public libraries. We've done numerous sporting events. One of the trickiest jobs we did, actually, we had to do an event at a hockey rink, and they had us actually march out on the ice, and that got a little dicey. But book fairs, different school functions, and of course internally for the Fairfax County government with the Board of Supervisors swearing in ceremonies. So a lot of what we call colors jobs, where we present the colors and the national anthem is played or sung at the opening of a ceremony, and we provide that formal structure on behalf of the police department. We're an extension of the community, and we're out there in the public. Another program we started a little over a year ago is we have a U.S. flag collection program at each of the police stations for members of the community that have an old tattered flag that may have been out in the weather too long. Right. If they want to bring that to the police station, there's a collection bin in each lobby where they can turn it in. Then myself and other members of the Honor Guard will collect those, and we'll do a ceremonial disposal by burning those flags to dispose of them, because it's against U.S. federal code for flags to be put into the trash. So just another little piece that we provide a community service.
Very good. Chris, I appreciate you coming in to talk with us about the good work you and your comrades do. You just make me more aware of the training, the discipline, and dedication that you guys go through. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Chris.
Sean, glad to be here. Thank you.